Alright guys, back on another day. We're gonna do this kayak. I'm trying to convert my my pedal kayak into an electric motor kayak. So enough pedaling with this thing. I had lots of fun with it, but I'm thinking to try and see convert it into motorized kayak. So I'm putting on a Shakespeare trolling motor, which is this guy. It's all old and busted up. I mean, working on trying out some new stuff, try and see. So I took this the mount off of it already, so this guy is going to be popping it right. I'm going to try and make a mechanism like this but onto this. So this bad boy is going to literally drop straight here, just like that. I'm going to try to get it like this, but I don't know how as yet, but we're gonna fabricate something and we're gonna try and get it going. So if you want to know how to do this, stay tuned and we're gonna see some more. This is an up close view of what my kayak setup is like, what I'm trying to make it look like. And I'm in my backyard right now trying to get this figured out and started. So so this bad boy here, not mounted yet, but as you can see from the kayak, they made something right here, which is kind of helpful to me. Why? Because I can fabricate something to make it look original. And then they have, from my older previous my pedal motor here, pedal drive, they have this front rod here that locks into this here. So then you drop that metal piece in there and you just click these in and it locks it in place. So what I'm trying to do is to try and make this electric motor into mounting the exact way, so it looks a little bit more strong, and also it gives it more of a professional look, original look kind of thing. As you can see on this Shakespeare trolley motor, it's a 32 pound thrust, and what you can see underneath all this duct tape is that this thing, when I got it previously, is from the first guy. It's all busted up and he duct taped it. So I think it might be a plus side to me, because number one, as you can see down there, the motor is kind of spin on the opposite. So I'm not trying to go in reverse. I'm not trying to spin in reverse, because as you see, this guy here has 5-speed, that's forward, and then 3-speed reverse. So I'm not trying to go 3-speed reverse on this. I'm trying to go full throttle because I need to get to my fishing spot real quick. So as you can see, I put my chair there just to make sure I know like where I would want it to be while I sit down. So I mean, this is kind of like, you know, the setup that I'm projecting to get, trying to achieve it. I mean, this guy here comes out like, it pops in, it goes in a bit, and then it comes out a bit. So I mean, that there by itself, I mean, it's not so bad. So I think I can make it work. Oh yeah. And the electrical, I'll try wire everything up and see after, but right now I'm trying to go for strength and trying to get this guy mounted. This is my first time doing this. I mean, I usually work on motorboats, power boats, outboards, like 60-foot aluminum boats, pontoons. So this is kind of a smaller thing where I gotta focus on a different kind of technique here for these things. So I think I can make it work. I'm gonna use PVC pipe and see how this is. Got my tool, make a mark, and then start cutting it. Alright, so as you can see here, I have this, so I took out this part. I know all these trolling motors, they come with these things. So it was on like that. No, I think like this. Yeah, it was on like that, right? It was on like that, so I ended up taking it off. Then when I take that off, so basically the bolt that I slipped out to take that arm off, basically I'm putting on my own arm here now onto that same pathway there with PVC piping. Oh yeah, so got like 1/2 inch PVC pipe And I mean, I got peas knocking around. I just went to Lowe's and I picked up this elbow here. I went to Rona and they didn't have it, so that was a letdown. So it took me an hour just to get this, but finally got it. Now I'm just gonna start putting this thing together. Got myself a nice chair here, sitting down. So I basically drilled a hole in the PVC piping to match up these ones. Got bolt and nuts for it so that it can line up and go in nice. And now I didn't drill it too much, so I'm basically threading it in, which gives it a little bit more strength, and also it's more sturdy. So basically, cut the piece out here. So you want a T-elbow. So make sure when you guys go there, you buy the T-elbow, PVC pipe to fit it. You get a PVC pipe, you measure what fits, mark it out, cut it out, get a, so these here are, what do you call it, I got these here in my garage, found these here. It looks like a bracket. I flipped it upside down and I made it into something that I needed, and send a bolt through there. Now these guys clips in just like original, and this bad boy sits right in place. So now when I'm in the water, I just turn it like that, right? So I'm at first, second, third, fourth, fifth, boom. Speed, full speed, reverse, neutral, and I'm turning. You guys will view that too. As you can see down there, wanna have it in a way that you can turn. This will be me in here. Too much of it. Yeah, I'm fishing, casting out, going out, boom. I'm gonna go right, I'm gonna go left, boom. I'm gonna make it more sturdy, but this is the main idea that I'm trying to put there. I save a bunch of money just doing this, right? I mean, plus I didn't have to spend time reading on shipment and all of that. And yeah, it's nice, cheap, and affordable. I'm gonna try straightening it up a little bit more, but so far it's looking good. Oh yeah. So it looks there right now. Still deciding where to put my battery, whether I put it in front or I just put it in the back. Not sure yet, but I'm gonna have to try to distribute that weight and see where the weight lies. Make sure I'm balanced and stable in the water too. Alright, so this part here that is there, I'm deleting this because I want this bottom here. See how it's nice and flush? Imagine this thing is nice and balanced without even being connected. See? Look at that. I can almost turn this thing without it even. It's still kind of need that there, but still. Balance. Balance is key. The bracket that we're making to mount the motor on the kayak, assembly. So first you're gonna need your electric motor. So I already mounted on the bracket onto the motor with the PVC pipe. You need pieces of PVCs and you need a T-elbow. Get the drill gun, paint for the ending, for touch-ups, and drill bit, 3 screws, sandpaper, and your glue. So today we're basically putting all these together. So this is basically like a plumbing setup because we're dealing with PVC pipes. So number one, you get your sandpaper. You want to give this a rough, you want to rough it up a bit so that when you put it into the elbow, the T-elbow, it is, and with the glue it gives it a little bit of grip so it stays in there. Just like plumbing, all those plumbing guys out there, you guys know what I'm doing here. So this will make life much easier. Don't need to give it a whole bunch, you just give it enough what's going in the pipe, in the elbow, so that's about all you need. And I like to give it inside as well, so pull this bad boy up. And what's inside is this, and you want to have to so people don't get more in here, give it rough. Okay, inside. Now get your glue. So you want to get your cement. This is your cement that I'll be using today. Okay, some premium bricks. This is going that. This is like that. This is like that. Perfect. Yeah, I'm doing that. So number one now is to get our drill. We're drilling some holes for the screws that we're putting in. So the screws will be basically acting as a safety. Doing it. Get together, back to and screw it up in here. We're going to do that, number one. Screw it in. This will be holding these pipes, just in case for extra strength. You need the extra strength, that's basically acting every time. Okay. That's it here. Now, I'm gonna try and put it onto the kayak and make sure everything is good. As you can see here, we put it on, and she mounts on perfectly. Just tighten it up, all those latches, and perfect. She is ready to go. So this is where we are. Got mounted there. And put them on there. I fabricated this mount here because it's a bit too expensive for me to buy, and also I'm living in Canada and they don't sell this mount right now in Canada, so I had to fabricate something to make sure that I can have the same thing or probably even stronger and enjoy it in Canada. So let me show you how it looks right now. So what we have here is PVC pipe with a T-elbow connected to another PVC pipe with a bracket that I mounted, that I made. So this bracket here, I bore holes inside the PVC pipe, send some bolts and nuts in there. And also with this, the mount that was holding the trolling motor, I took that off, and instead of like taking this whole mount off, I'm using it as a strength hold. Because as you can see, that mechanism came original, and it looks pretty neat and it looks pretty sturdy and it's holding strong. So I mean, since they made this for the transom and holding it, I decided to use the same thing but build my own mechanism that is strong to hold it as well. And this kayak came with the clips for the pedal drive, so I decided to make it in a way that I'm clipping it on the same way and unclipping it the same way. So as you can see, there's 3 of them. So when I unclip this bottom one is pretty strong. When I unclip that one, I pop this center console out. Then as you can see here, it's pretty exposed. So what I want to do is I want it to be quick and easy to assemble and unassemble. Why is because number one, like, I'm gonna put this on a roof rack, so this is gonna go on top of my car when I'm taking it to the lake. And also I don't want it to be like this on top of my car. I want to put this in my trunk, so all I need to do is I pop this guy out, take this bad boy just like that out. I make sure you can always watch for the prop, make sure it's a 2 prop. If you have a 3 prop, you put it under there, you're screwed. You basically need to have a 2 prop so that it can slide easily through this pathway. So, and also when I'm putting it in, I wanted to make sure it's easy. So before I put it in, I want to show you guys that this kayak was built nicely with this latch here that I like that they made. This same pathway here is kind of holding the trolling motor as well, so it's acting as like a guide as well. So I kind of like that. So right now all you do is you pop this in the front, put her in place like that. It sits nice and flat. Then I just push this down, put that on, click it in, and then boom, that's it. I got my trolling motor. And all I need to do, I can rough this bad boy up and still it's gonna keep going. And I'm gonna nice it up a little bit more, but before I do all of that, I want to try it out and make sure everything is good. I'm gonna do my wiring and then decide where I put my battery. So this is the center console. I didn't have to bother or do anything with it. Just pop her in just like that, nice and easy, and boom, that's it. I want to take a look at the bottom of this kayak because see, as you can see down here, it is a bit lower than normal. So as you can tell, there's like a divot, there's a big divot under there where I want that to propulse the water. I want it to push water because you see it has that nice cut in the front to cut the water. I want it to be a bit higher so it's gonna match that. So all I need to do is, see how it's a bit too low? You can set it, depends. That's why I kind of love the setup that I have. You can set it all based on this thing here, right here. So all you do is loosen this and you lift her up and then you pop that down. So I'll show you guys how I do that. Alright, so this is how I'm gonna do it. So basically here is where you want to make sure you untighten, slack that out, and also this other side, so you can make it easy for it to come up. Also want to make sure at the bottom my trolling motor is at a perfect height. I tighten this back up. This is acting as a stopper. For those who fish with slip float, you know what a stopper is. So this here is basically a stopper that just helps this part here and for not this going straight down. So as you guys can take a look down here, now it's a bit higher. Why we need it higher is because number one, for pulling, when the propeller is there and it's pushing the water, you want to make sure it is going with your boat, the design of your boat. Right now this is at a perfect height for me. Is anything too high, well, I mean, I can make it just a bit higher. which helps me with too much weeds. Also, don't forget, when this is higher, then you know you can go in shallower water. And you want to go in shallower water. Why? Is because you don't want to always using your pedal, right? So this here helps, and also by saving your skeg, right? Because this here is not plastic, this is metal. So this part here is plastic. Actually, the whole thing is metal. The whole bottom lure unit is metal, so I don't want to hit it. But right now, this is perfect. It's not touching, it's not hitting, nothing, but it's in the right place. And also, I kind of like the look of it. It is in a place where, whilst the water is moving in the water, it's gonna cut it precisely neat because of that front part there, right to the bow there. It's gonna cut the water from there all the way to here, and then it's gonna propulse it straight down, which is gonna give me a little bit more speed on the top. So I'm hoping that. And whilst I'm in the boat, I also have a little bit of height. So like it is, I'm gonna be in my kayak, and I gotta make sure that I can basically move around like pretty nice. So number one is I get my kayak here, moving around. Oh yeah, hitting it in gear, boom, 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 right? When I'll be standing in the kayak, I gotta make sure that it's balanced and nice. So as you can have everything here in one shot, I gotta test it out to know everything first, because this is just a theory, and it becomes nice and easy once you have everything done in the water. But I can't wait to fish with this thing, man. Oh yeah, it's gonna make life so much easier. 100%. Also, this part here, as you can see, I'm slackening this part here. Gotta make sure that when you're using it, I don't know if you guys can see that. It's gonna be tough. Alright, this part here, right over here. Yes. So this part here, you want to slacken that for better motion with your trawling motor, right? If you need to. But if you want to lock it in place, let's say you want to just go straight when you're, let's say you're trawling or you're going on like just a straight path, and you want to lock it in place. A lot of people don't have this when they modify their electric trawling motor on their kayak, is they delete that part. So this here locks it, like so. When I tighten this same part here, right, it locks it from making turns, right? So I'm literally, I can set my speed on like 1 whilst I am basically standing, casting it out, right? So I'm just standing, casting it out, sending it, using my bait caster, using my favorite bait. So I'm just here and I'll just be sending it. So it's basically locked. This here ain't going nowhere. So I'm literally, let's say I'm in the middle of the lake and I want to trawl and I want to go straight, locked it in place, put it at 1 forward, and I'm going. I'm moving that direction. Let's say the current, I'm facing the current and the current's like hitting me and I'm drifting too much back. I put it on 1 or 2 depending on the speed of the current, and I'm stuck right there. I'm stay right there. I can drop my anchor to keep me there too, but sometimes when you're trawling and you're fishing, the fish moves, so you got to move with it. But also when you're trying to clear water, bodies of water, you want to make sure that you're hitting all the right spots and your motor is on right. So if your motor is in the right place, trawling the right way, you're getting that fish. Oh yeah, 100%. So